I'm going to move this over here.
That cranking 90s.
Yeah, listen to this.
Go on, sit back, relax, go and get your drink. Go get tuned up and tune in, it's what guys think.
What's up, guys? Listen to What Guys Think.
All right, what
The
guys
podcast that brings you the Coors Light and the Peronis on deck.
That's it. On a hot,
On a
it's not
hot
yet.
summer evening.
It is hot
Yeah,
today.
it was,
We're getting there.
sweltering, sticky. Summer days like that we used to have back in the day.
Yeah.
Remember them? Dog days, they called them.
The dog days.
Yes.
What's up, guys? We're bringing you our Uncle Rick today. He's here to join us for a little podcast episode.
Howdy.
Going to talk to us about the good old days.
The good old days. Yeah, I'm a little older than you guys, so, have a long experience.
Exactly.
Many stories.
of
He's
life.
got stories from the 70s and the 80s and
Oh, God. Yeah.
going back to it. Thinking about it now,
Yeah. I remember.
probably seems like it was yesterday, but it was not yesterday.
Well, it wasn't yesterday. That's the scary part, when you look.
Time flies.
We were talking about dog days.
Hey, wait, just get closer, Rick. I can get you.
Okay.
No, just put the mic closer.
Yeah, you could just put it
Yeah,
right
You
at the
can,
edge.
you can sit back. If you want.
Yeah,
Yeah, if you want to sit back and just put it, bring
Okay.
it closer to you.
There you
Just
go.
bring it to the edge of the table. There you
There
go.
you go. Yeah.
There, good.
There was a movie called Dog Day Afternoon. I don't know if you ever heard of it with
Yeah.
Al Pacino.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually saw them filming it, and my sister was in it. She was an extra, like one of the people in the crowd that was screaming in the back. If you
Right.
remember.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's a scene when because it was a true story. There was a bank robbery in '72 in Brooklyn, and it was chaos. The guy demanded so many things from the police, and it was crazy.
Yeah.
So he wound up getting shot. Well, somebody wound up getting killed, and
Right.
they made a movie out of it.
Oh, wow.
And Al
okay.
Pacino
Al Pacino
starred in
played
it. Yeah.
the guy who got shot, or he played the guy?
And he played the actual man. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. I haven't seen it.
Oh, you never saw Dog Day? You got to see
No.
it. Oh, I can't explain it to you because you have to really
Right.
see it, what it was like. And
My
yeah.
Uncle Rick saw enough movies to make a whole list for me.
Oh.
So
He'd probably make his own movie by now.
if you-
all
if-
the
if
all
I
the
ne-
material.
if I never knew a movie I needed to watch the night of, I would just have to hit him up, and I feel like you would know one right away.
Tell me right away. So many of them.
How's everything been though?
Good?
Good?
Not bad.
Yeah,
You know,
how's the quarantine been?
Yeah, how's it been with work?
Well, the thing is, I was essential, so I was
Right.
going to work every day, and Janet is home working. My wife, she's working home, so she's,
Just
doing her thing.
Doing what Billy's doing every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, both of us.
Sitting over here in the office.
Yeah. And from what I understand, it's like a watchdog. They watch everything you do, and you're on like a timer. They can see what time you go to the bathroom, or there's like
yeah.
a stream.
Oh yeah. Oh, they count her clicks.
yeah.
and
Her
stuff.
time away and everything.
Right.
Time away.
So what would happen if the power went out? You would just have to let them know, like would they
Oh
do it?
yeah. I mean, yeah.
Pay deducting. Imagine.
No, I
Right.
hope not.
Right. They would just know that was happening.
I know it's getting hot and people did not want to wear a mask, but luckily, a lot of the places in Jersey mandated the masks like to lift.
Yeah.
Don't have to wear it inside.
Well,
And
that's the thing, and people give you like the whale eye if you don't have it
don't
when you
have it
walk
on.
into a
Right.
store, or
It's because we're all like conditioned for over a year to have them on.
well, it's
And
weird.
now it's
Yeah.
mask
You
off.
know,
And now we're like, oh
I'm
God.
I
kind
feel like
of
it's
I'm
the
kind of used
situation.
to now always having it. In the beginning, I would go, it's in there.
Bam.
yeah,
I would get out of the car and then run back in the car.
because you forgot it.
Yeah, and you can't put one of these. Oh, I forgot my mask. You
That's true.
don't want to do that. So I always have one on hand in my pocket.
Yeah.
Because at work they would give us like
Oh yeah, I'll always bring
every
one.
week they give us a box of 50. I must have like 1,000 of them. Yeah.
Have to. I
You
know,
know.
but it's good to. It was weird. It was really weird because we went out to the bar because we were like, "Do you have your mask?" My girlfriend. We went out to. It was like one of her friends' birthdays, and there was this. You ever been to 10th Ave in Asbury? It was like a taco place. In
No.
10th Ave in Asbury. Oh no, it was in Belmar. It's in Belmar. So it was like a taco place, but it's like a restaurant. But at night they had a bar open, but it was closed for the pandemic. So
Right.
they opened up the bar section, and like no one's wearing a mask inside. And they put up the sign like masks are optional.
Oh,
It's
right.
weird, man.
Oh,
like the
wow.
first day, I was like being around everybody. I was like,
Mask
wow.
optional.
Yeah.
Imagine you wouldn't
Mask
have,
optional.
Before it was the clothes optional. Now it's masks.
Now it's yeah, because you'll walk in the store, it'll say most stores though it says, please wear your mask.
No, yeah, still. Like I mostly if it's the majority or if that's the how it is,
Right.
I don't mind wearing it. And especially if
No.
it's AC in there, but
Yeah.
if it's like being outside when it's like 1,000 degrees, it's a lot harder.
Right.
I didn't mind in the winter because then it kept my face warm.
Yeah.
I was like, this ain't
know.
that bad of an idea
Yeah.
now. Where now?
Yeah, and I have the blue ones, 'cause from work, so you always do the smell test. This one good? No, dump.
I know.
Smells
Put
like
this
ass.
one on, yeah.
I
It
know.
smells like ass, yeah.
I have to
yeah.
constantly keep cleaning my mask.
I know.
I went to the movies for the first time. Billy went before me. He went to go see Mortal
Yeah, I saw
Kombat.
Mortal Kombat.
They made like a
Heads
Mortal
off.
Kombat.
Oh, yeah.
They did redid the movie with some new actors, but it was funny. It was good.
It was good? It was good.
But I went to go see A Quiet Place. Did you see the first
I
Quiet
didn't get to
Place?
see that yet.
No.
So it's do you ever see The Office?
Yeah.
So the guy who plays Jim directs this movie and he stars in it, like the first one.
Okay.
And
Was
it's
that,
like
was that Jack, what's his name? Jack
Jack Ryan.
Jack Ryan.
Yeah,
Yes,
is that
Jack
guy?
Ryan.
Yeah, he is
Jack
a good
Ryan.
actor.
He's good. He's good. Director too. Like if he made this whole thing like from scratch, I think he wrote it too.
Mm-hmm.
Really good. And it's basically about like an alien invasion, but it picks up from like it already happened.
Okay.
So there's these monsters, and they can hear like they can literally hear this. Like if they hear their hearing is like through the roof, like the best
Pin drop.
ears in the world.
Right.
So they can't speak unless they're underground or like in a room that's like sealed. So any type of noise, like these bottles falling over, they would know that we were
Yeah,
inside.
they come right in.
What do they
So-
look like?
They're like, I'm trying to think.
Like nightmare kind of creatures looking.
Oh,
things.
they look like spiders.
They look like
that are-
like grasshoppers,
right,
right?
like a grasshopper that's made out of like steel.
Steel.
Oh, okay.
So they're
Almost like
like-
a praying mantis.
And they kind of
Right.
crawl
Type of
really
thing?
fast, like
Oh, yeah.
like a tarantula.
There you go.
But they got like big teeth and they're like covered in armor.
Oh.
So they don't know how to get them, but they figure out how to get them.
How small are they?
Oh, no, they're not
they're
small.
like the
They're
size. They're like the size of probably like the couch, like in
Oh, wow.
like length, but like height. They're probably like up to the ceiling.
Oh, wow.
So they're like big.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
It's scary stuff.
and they don't. I think they're not like they don't probably do anything besides hunt. I think that's because I don't think they weren't from. The second one is about like they tell you how they got there.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get to
Basically,
see
like
that part.
a meteor is coming down in like the trailer,
Mm.
so you can assume that they're not from the
They're
planet.
that planet.
What is it on? Is it on Netflix? Or?
You can watch. I don't know. You can't yet. You have to see it in the theater. That's why we
Have to
wanted
see
to
it
Oh,
go.
what's the name of it again?
Quiet Place.
Quiet
The
Place.
Quiet Place. Okay.
But it's funny because the whole movie, like they have to be quiet. There's barely any dialogue.
So it kind of makes you feel like I shouldn't talk in the movie
Oh, wow.
because it's so quiet.
because I'm trying to eat my popcorn and I'm like,
It's like
the bag's like.
Oh, wow. Oh, so you have to be really quiet.
So as soon as the movie got out, we were screaming. We were like, oh, because usually you say like, wow, that was good,
Wow,
like
that's
that scene
great
was
action
nice.
scene.
But you don't even want to talk. But the scenes are so intense because there's like in the second one, there's like 3 different things happening at once. So you're like, what the fuck's gonna happen?
Oh, wow.
So,
Wow.
but it was good though. I liked it.
That sounds like something. I'll check it out.
Yeah. Have you been watching anything? Being at home, any shows or series or anything?
Yeah, we're watching, right now we're watching The Queen of the South.
Yeah.
Which
My
is,
parents told me you put them on
really-
it.
Oh, wow.
It's
it's
good.
really
What is it?
Yeah. Teresa. Teresa Mendoza. It's actually based on a true story. She's the queen of a cartel.
Oh wow.
And she starts from just like a Mexican mule or runner.
Right.
And she's very smart, and she worked her way all the way up to the top. And her predecessor, her boss, is Camelia Vargas.
Okay.
Now she basically runs the whole show, and she likes her, so she takes her in. It's just she builds around her, and then she breaks away, and then she starts to build her own empire,
Right.
nice.
and it just gets crazy. It's a roller coaster,
Damn.
Is it like one of those like something happens and then like a whole
So many
series?
things happen.
Yeah,
I mean,
I love those kind of
you
shows.
know,
They just
there's
What
like-
kind of cartel is it? It's the.
it's
Colombian or-
Colombian, yeah, Mexico. It starts in Mexico, and then it works away. She's all over the place. I mean,
Right.
she'll expand. There's 5 seasons, and the girl that plays the part is amazing.
right.
I'm up to season 4 now. Now she's in New Orleans, so she already made it up to the top, and it's just incredible. There's so many villains in it,
Yeah.
but you're talking about the way she's moving her product.
Right.
She puts it in a liquid, like a tequila.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that's her
Her,
way
like,
they ship
niche,
it. Yeah,
yeah.
and you wouldn't know what it is until it gets to wherever the destination, and then there's a way to make it into powder. You know,
That's-
so it's
What?
under the radar. Oh my god!
No way.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
a true story? Or is it
I don't know if that was true, if that's the actual
that's-
way she moved it,
yeah.
but she is alive,
Right.
You know, and she's only
That's
in
crazy.
her early 60s.
So what they do, like heat up the water to like it dehydrate.
Well, they made it
and
look
then
like
the powder
regular
came.
tequila, and she packaged it, you know, in
That's
bottles.
nuts.
You know, yeah, it's insane.
if that's possible then.
Oh my god!
Uh oh.
But I was watching, you know what was
Yeah,
crazy?
well, it's
though?
liquid. It's
Yeah.
liquid turned into powder. You know, so I don't know if that's Hollywood. You know, I didn't really look into it, but
There's probably some video on like explaining like how they could do it.
right. Well, okay.
I was watching Narcos, and I know it came out like 4 years ago now.
right, right.
But it was so cool, like, cause I know it's like, you know, it's Hollywood, but it really happened, like with
Oh, yeah.
everything with Escobar.
Yeah.
But just how they
Medellin,
shipped-
Tatel.
yeah, how they, yeah, where he was
yeah.
from, how they shipped everything, like,
hmm
and how much money they made, like how they just
You know, they said that there's
were making
pockets.
bank.
There's pockets of money, bags of money that
Still unfound.
that he himself buried, you know,
Right.
cash, because he had so much of it,
Yeah.
you know. So there's treasures, like, you know, little and people are still doing egg hunts, you know.
it's true,
And
yeah.
there's,
I saw he was like they said they were showing farmers like picking it up, like just from like doing their job, and then
Yeah.
they were coming across the money, and they're like, oh, this must be the cartel's money.
Oh, Pablo, yeah, and they were ruthless. You know, of course, it's not like the mafia.
No.
You know, they only kill who they want to kill.
Right.
But this is, they go into family. They, you know, it's ruthless. You know, so it's not a. You know,
there was
when
never,
you-
it didn't end well for him, but I
Oh,
feel
no.
like it doesn't really end well
no,
for many.
no, he had his own compound. You know, how
I
they-
couldn't believe that he
When you're-
went to jail in his own jail.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
he
That's
Then
what
he
I was
got
gonna
out.
Say. I was like, and didn't he have like? Was he the one with the railroad station?
No, that's the guy. That's El
El
Chapo.
Chapo.
Chapo
Yeah.
did that. Yeah.
Matter of fact, it was on the news the other day.
Was it?
His wife, there's something going on with her. You know, I don't know if she's on the inside or something,
right.
but I mean, he was worth a lot of money, and
And he's still. Is he still? I
oh,
don't even
he's
know
in
what-
he's
is
in
he in prison now?
Yeah,
or is he
he's
gone?
in Marion. You know, one of those like super max
max
Yeah.
security prisons because he got out of
Yeah.
the first one, right? Was that in America? That wasn't in America.
No,
he got
no,
out.
no,
No.
no, no. That's why he didn't want to come here.
Right.
Once
Okay.
he came here, they took him.
Then
to,
it's screwed.
Yeah,
they
he ain't
took him
getting
here, and he was on super lock.
I wonder if he's still able to run things.
Well, back then, you know, like I said, there's places in Texas, you know, that there's a lot of underground tunnels that
Right.
they move. You know, matter of fact, in this series, there was a spot where they were able to go in, and you know, you could pop up anywhere. You can pop up, you know, you go in Mexico, and then you come up in like a gas station, you know,
Yeah.
or in the back of a, you know, donut shop.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, and it's not many miles. You know, and these people are willing to dig, you know, holes to get the job done.
Exactly.
You
And
know?
they'll do right by their boss just because they know that that's what they're supposed to do.
I think
and-
it's only like maybe 2 or 3 miles.
Hmm.
You know, maybe even less than that, depending on, you know, where the border is. But
But yeah, like the show. I like at least like we have some entertainment like being locked up, you know, for that whole year. So it was a good time.
Oh,
But it was
oh.
good going back to the movies though because it was so weird being in there.
oh God,
I know.
The tiger. What was it? The tiger.
Oh, the
guy?
tiger, yeah,
What
the
tiger?
Tiger
He's
King.
got
Tiger
prostate
King.
cancer now.
No,
I think
does
so.
he?
Yeah, there was something.
I think he
on
got.
the
I think he
news.
got the virus when he first got locked up too.
He got the
I
virus.
don't know if that was fake,
Was
but
it? And then I heard something about Carol Baskin having her own show.
Oh my God.
they
What's that?
there was a.
What's
I
that?
think she got in trouble because they like reopened the case about her killing her own husband or something.
Oh.
That whole thing
Well,
was funny.
the fact is, you know, I mean, everything points to her. 'Cause,
Right.
You know,
No,
they're
yeah.
saying that, you know, you see what she did. And, you know, what they show you is it's amazing. You know, they have these animals. You know, he was a wacky, you know.
Right.
But,
Yeah.
you know, you got to watch it, and it became so popular. And so many people watched it, you know. And
Yeah.
they knew all about it. And they see he kind of got a bum deal. You know,
Yeah,
they threw him
yeah.
away for, what, 10 years for what he did?
Yeah.
You know. But,
What was it like going back to like the movies? Like, what was it like going to the movies back in the day? Like, do you remember like growing up?
Yeah, well, like I said, it was, you know, back then we only had regular television. So, if
Where,
we-
where are you from too? That's what.
Well,
like,
Brooklyn. Yeah, born and raised.
Born and raised.
You know, born and raised in Brooklyn.
Brooklyn.
Just so
and
people know.
Yeah, we were originally from, let me say, I don't know if you want to call it Crown Heights. It was Clawson Avenue and Willoughby.
Right.
And-
Willoughby.
Willoughby.
Yeah,
My dad
Willoughby.
always says Willoughby because of what's that? The they had a scene with Willoughby.
What's it called? I can't even.
Willoughby
think.
Street.
Twilight Zone.
Twilight Zone.
Oh, Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there's a Pace University. That's where we were across the street.
Right.
And I think it was the 6-9. What's that TV show? The 6-9. Oh, it was a
Oh,
cop,
Brooklyn.
cop show.
I'm thinking of a cop show.
Yeah, I was on
the,
television.
the funny one.
No, yeah, right. Which
Brooklyn 99.
9-9.
Oh no, Reno.
Or 6-9.
Reno 911.
It's the guy. It's the guy from Saturday Night Live.
It was Brooklyn 99. That's
Yeah,
what
Yeah.
it was.
Well,
yeah.
actually, I lived originally down the block from that. That's,
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was the one.
Oh,
And
that's
then
funny.
in '64, my mother moved to Flatbush.
Yeah.
Coney Island Avenue and East 8th Street.
Right.
And that's basically the way raised
Because I know
right in
you're
the
like, I know
center.
you're like Coney Island #1 fan. Like,
Yeah, we always going to Coney Island. Always that was that thing, And it was really a good childhood,
what was
growing
the
up.
yeah? So what was the movies like? Like
What
if
was
you were
like,
just-
like say for instance, everything like if a blockbuster was coming out,
Right.
like say for instance Rocky, that would be the big thing, Rocky in '75.
Yeah.
So, you would,
Sylvester Stallone.
yeah,
Rocky come out.
How you
for the first
doing?
time.
the big opening. He normally would open it up. Sometimes it would be Christmas, but Rockies used to open like Thanksgiving.
Okay, like near the holidays.
Yeah, either the day after or that weekend. So I mean, everybody would because you go online.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
So they would start at 12
Packed.
o'clock. Line would be around the corner.
Yeah.
And this is probably. I would say I don't even think the multiplexes were open then.
There was no
It
claim
just-
in my
it was
seat.
Just, it was just
Yeah.
like one
It was
movie
like
theater.
first one there.
Right.
Before they whacked them all, they whacked up all the beautiful Lowe's, Kings.
Best spot,
They
yeah.
were tremendous movies back in the day.
Yeah.
They were elaborate. They made them like for one show matinees.
Yeah.
They were so big they were able to make them into 3 or 4.
Wow.
But back then it would be one, so it would fit, I guess 5,000 people on the setting. You get your ticket.
Jeez.
It's not like today where you can call up.
Yeah,
No,
You'd have to
yeah.
physically go there and wait online.
You gotta. Yeah.
Here's
you
my
gotta-
seat.
Yeah,
Oh,
you'd have to
here's
give,
my
have to give your friend Joe, here's money, pick up a
Yeah,
ticket.
yeah,
I got
go get
tickets.
2 tickets.
Yeah, we got the 12 o'clock. I'll be there. Midnight, all right. So, that was cool, and then you'd wait online and you'd see it and all of that, But I remember, the Kung Fu movies, the Bruce Lee movies were
Right.
cool too. And they had them all along Flatbush Avenue.
Yeah.
There was a whole line of movie theaters back then.
That's cool. Yeah. The last thing I saw with Bruce Lee was Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Did you see it?
Uh,
I don't see that.
I
You've
think
seen
I
it,
did.
yeah.
Have I?
It's with DiCaprio, with Brad Pitt.
Oh,
was the
yes.
stuff-
Yes.
When they
Yes,
had
I
that
did
scene
see
with
it.
Bruce Lee, they did.
Yes.
It wasn't, it was realistic, but they just
Right,
it
the guy
like
that was
made up.
fighting. Yeah.
They had like
What was the movie called?
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah, it was a very long movie.
I
Yes,
thought you were just saying.
Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt was in it.
Brad Pitt. Yeah.
Yes, I remember.
Yeah, he played DiCaprio's
Yeah,
stunt double.
kick Bruce Lee's ass.
But Bruce Lee was
That's
talking.
hilarious.
They were having a fight about if he would beat Muhammad Ali. I think that's what it was. And that was always a talk back then, right? That was like
Yeah,
always
well,
a thing.
Muhammad Ali, that's boxing and
Yeah.
judo.
Yeah, it's two different.
I mean, if he was able to get a couple of kicks in, but
I wanted to ask you, did you see the thing with Mayweather? I don't know if you watched it.
No,
but
you know
heard
what?
About it.
I knew it was on, but I thought it was Saturday. So if I knew it was on Sunday, I would have watched it. But I heard it was boring.
It was like I didn't see it, but
Wait,
that's
what?
the fight with Mayweather and Logan Paul.
Yeah, it's for
Yeah.
views.
Logan
Yeah.
Paul is
$50,
he's
8
just
rounds.
He's
It
just
was
some
like what was it?
YouTuber.
He's a
It was
YouTuber, right?
exhibition match, right?
It was an exhibition,
one's
no
winning.
winner unless
It
someone
was just
unless
for views.
knockout. I guess I don't know if
Yeah.
that was the rule.
Well, that was the rule. They said that.
Yeah.
And I heard after the fight, Mayweather said, "Listen, the guy's 50 pounds heavier than him."
He
Yeah.
looked like
You
a
know,
giant next
he
to
looked
him.
like
Yeah,
a monster.
and you had to keep him off him. I mean,
Right.
pound for pound.
Oof.
Mayweather supposedly is the best fighter because all he does is he's a very defensive. He knows how to duck. And
Yeah, he
how
is.
to-
Well,
He's-
even with that weight difference and the what was he saying? They had like 8 inches on him or
reach.
something like that.
Right.
He
Yeah.
still lost in every round.
Yeah. But
except
I mean,
for like maybe like
in
one.
reality, if you have a strong heavyweight, of course he's going to beat up a
Oh, yeah.
flyweight.
Well, yeah, of course. He's
just
like,
what one.
He's got
you know,
100 pounds on him.
Right. I mean, I personally like middleweight fights because they're so fast, or even not featherweight, but light middleweight,
Right.
because they're quick. But the weight class has changed so much. Back then, when you think about Rocky Marciano,
Right.
Rocky.
Rocky.
It was the one with Eddie Murphy.
Oh yeah.
They always talk about that funny scene.
Right.
But Rocky Marciano, I think, was maybe 200 pounds.
Yeah.
But back in the 50s, in 1950, that was considered a heavyweight. Today, a
average.
cruiserweight, not even a super heavyweight. Super heavyweight started 230.
Yeah.
You know, so the weight changed back then, because back then it was just like, middleweight, heavyweight, and lightweight.
Yeah.
I don't think there was many classes, and then everything changed. But they
Well, I don't
always
know what
say,
they were feeding them.
yeah. That show on Mike Tyson was very good. It was on Channel 7.
Yeah, I didn't. I
It's
know
a series.
I know. Jamie Foxx is playing him.
He's
in
making a movie.
Right? He's
Yes.
making a movie. Yeah,
He's
I heard he's
making a
getting
movie.
really built.
When is that coming out?
He looks great. Probably next year.
Okay.
There's a story about Tyson. My brother-in-law at the time, he passed away. His very good friend, I would say late 70s. He was an amateur boxer, and
Right.
he was upstate New York. And I'll never forget. The talk was, when I saw his name was Frankie. He said that there's this guy called Mike Tyson. He's going to be the heavyweight champion of the world.
Wow.
And I was like, I just remembered the name. And I said, where is this? He says, he's upstate at this facility with Customado, this and that. And, this is so long ago.
You would never
and
know.
when every time they show you the clip,
You just say yeah, whatever.
All right, sounds good.
of course, and Mike sitting around the table, because
Yeah.
he was 12 years old when he went up there. And there's Frankie sitting at the table. So I knew, after I saw that, I was
You
like,
were like,
wow.
yep.
He didn't lie. It was
That's
really,
crazy.
it wasn't bullshitting.
But he was built like a tank to begin with. Even when
He
he was
was-
young, he looked like a torpedo.
He was
you know
always
what
a
I'm saying?
killer. Yeah.
Well, if you see the show, it's kind of sad. You see how Mike, how he was raised, and he was picked on.
Yeah.
He was 7 years old, and his mother would come up with drunks in the house, and it was a bad childhood, and he was arrested so many times, juvenile stuff,
right.
and then he was finally put away at some home, but he was good with his hands.
Mm-hmm.
So they said, listen, if you do good, we'll take you upstate and we'll train you how to fight. And that's what they did. He was 12 years old when they took him up there.
That's nuts. But was he like? Was he built since like?
He
a
was
young
very
age?
strong. He was
He was just
190 pounds
At
when he
12?
was like 12.
Oh my
So
God.
there's a part
Made
where
for it.
right
Yeah.
well, one of the trainers sees him fighting in the corner. So he sees him punching the bag, and he goes, "How see that kid over there?" And he goes, "Yeah, that kid over there." He says, "How old do you think he is?" And he goes, "I don't know, 18, 19." He's 12.
Oh, no.
And he went, "Get out of here." He came over and he looked at him and he could not believe it.
Yeah.
And then Cuss knew, Customado was
Started
like, he
strong.
was like a Bible. He was an old school man that knew everything about boxing. And he knew what he saw.
Right.
So, he saw Mike like, picture like Michelangelo looking at like this big granite statue. I'm going to chip him into be.
For real.
And he did.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, he died before Mike actually
Made
won
it
his
big?
fir-
Oh, won
well,
his first
before
fight?
he won his
Oh,
first
man.
His
title
first
fight.
title fight.
Yeah. But he
Well,
saw
that,
him.
That gave him more dedication to win that match.
Maybe that's why he
Mike
won.
was so nervous when they put him on like his first amateur fight.
Right.
I think he knocked the kid out in like 20 seconds. I mean, and then you saw how he fought, how he
Right.
was trained.
He was a haymaker.
He was amazing, So, but if you ever get a chance, it's on. Like I said, there's like a 6-part series. It's on Channel 7.
I think I might have watched it.
Yeah, it was
To be
like
honest.
2 weeks
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
watched like his progression and the fights, and then like
That was the beginning,
yeah.
And there's and Teddy Atlas was one of his trainers,
Mm-hmm.
and Teddy's from Staten Island,
Okay.
and there was always a falling out, and I never knew what happened. And in the show they tell you what happened with Mike.
Right.
He did something stupid to one of his nieces. He grabbed her in a funny way, and
Oh, okay.
Teddy lost his mind, and he threatened Mike, and then he was out.
That was it.
That was it. Yeah.
I mean, you can't. You can't really mess with Mike.
No.
Because that won't end well.
Well, he was a young kid, and he didn't know. He apologized. But
Yeah.
the thing was, what really happened was Teddy put a gun to his head,
Oh wow.
and he said, "If you ever touch, my niece again, I'll kill you."
Yeah.
And Mike kind of smirked, and he actually let a round off.
No.
Yeah. And that,
I'll do it.
got him in a little bit of trouble, and Cuss,
Do you remember that movie with Denzel? I think it was American Gangster or something.
yes, that was the name of it.
When he
True story. about
when he wanted to get the money from Frank. Oh no, Frank wanted to get the money from
Frank Bonds. What was his name?
Frank Bond.
They were at the diner, I think, with all his. He said, "Excuse me for a second." Denzel walked out,
Right.
and he said, "Where's my money?" And he said he gave him like a jar of like the sugar from the diner, and he just
Oh.
put it on the ground.
Right. Right.
He says, he's like right there. He's like, and then he wasn't giving. He's like, "Come on, Frank." He's like, "Get the fuck out of here."
Oh.
And then he just pulled out his whatever it was. It was like an M911.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And he's like, "What are you gonna shoot me, Frank? In front of all these people?" And then bam, right,
Shot him.
shot right.
Oh,
in the head.
that was the
For
big
all those
drug
people.
deal. That's
Right.
right. That's how he
Yeah.
became right.
And then he took the money out of his. He took the money, put the 20%, and then put it back.
And
He's
he
like,
put it
"Yeah,
back.
While he was
It's been a
bleeding
while
out.
since I've seen that movie. Yeah. Oh, that movie when Denzel was Training Day was my favorite.
Training Day was the
Yeah,
best.
when he was like, King
That was
Kong
like-
ain't got shit on me. I got bitches on all you bitches. That was the
It's like
best.
it's not what you know.
Oh, yeah.
It's what you can
That's
prove.
what you can prove.
He was. I think that I can't think of another movie where he was that good. I think.
Oh God.
He was.
'Cause
He was on
just
point.
like it was like a whole different
Every
person.
scene.
Oh my God, he was so good.
Every
You know, there's two endings to that.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that.
I know the
There's the
ending
one
when-
where they
yeah.
shoot him up, and then
Right.
there's another one where I think he gets away. I forget.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and who was the other kid? Who was the kid that played the
Ethan Hawke.
Ethan Hawke? Yeah, yeah. It was
Yeah.
a very good movie.
Oh my god, I love that movie to
Yeah.
this day.
No,
He had
I
the
gotta go-
chain.
I gotta go
was
far.
He says,
go look that up.
It was
So
good.
wait, was the original ending though? Was that when he got shot?
He got shot up.
He
Yeah.
got shot
By
up, and
the-
the
by
other
the
one, I
Russians.
think he got away, or they didn't kill him. I forget the exact
Forgot what happened.
ending.
And what was it
Might
like?
have to
On,
look that up.
There's two endings to it. You
it
can
was on like the
YouTube it.
DVD type thing.
Yeah, you could probably pull it up on
That's
YouTube.
funny, I never
Right,
saw
two
that.
endings. Yeah.
DVD.
DVD.
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah, I
It's
guess
the,
they. You know what they do? They do screenings in the movie theaters.
See what the- yeah, they see what the people like better.
Either it's
Extras.
boo-hoo or like yeah, you know how that goes.
Like, I don't like that.
Yeah,
You were talking about before we started about the Warriors,
Warriors, Saturday Night Fever. I mean, I've lived through it.
and
You
I know
that summer was probably one of the craziest summers. '77. It was the son of Sam. That's A. Beam was the mayor. New York was in chaos.
New York
And-
was like what you said. It was like Taxi Driver.
Oh my
Same
God!
thing,
Yeah, it was
same
bad.
deal.
I mean, it was bad.
So what
Gritty streets.
what
you
would
know.
you say that you were like? All right, things are getting bad. Like what do you think you were seeing that you were like, all right, something's
just-
got to change.
You just knew, like, the subways, graffiti,
Right.
just like grimy.
Was
I can
it-
see, watch Death Wish,
Yeah,
Charles
yeah.
Bronson. Like, yeah.
The homeless blowjobs didn't hit as
The
much.
homeless.
Oh, yeah. No, it was nuts.
Too much
you know?
teeth.
Well, Taxi Driver. You
Stop.
just watch Taxi Driver, you could see it, But, and that's why in July 13th is when the lights went out.
Right.
And it was a
Is that
hot,
that's where the
swell-
song came from too?
That's a disco song.
Where were you when the lights went
when
out?
the lights went out in New York City. They said there was a lot of babies.
Babies made that night.
Not a lot.
That's
A
funny.
lot.
What else are you gonna do? What time did they go out? You
What else
said
they gonna do?
I think it was right around right before it got dark.
right.
I was in the shower, and in my house, a lot of times we would get the a switch would blow because of the air conditions, because we
Right.
had them all over the house. And then we were like, all right. And I went, okay.
Yeah, switch
I
to-
said, Dad, he says, no, the whole block is out. Sure enough, you put the news on, 10-10 wins, New York's out. And when it's a hot summer night in New York City, it was like a powder keg went off.
Oh no.
When I tell you, by 10 o'clock, they turned Bushwick into a war zone.
I can only
They
imagine.
broke into jewelry stores, and back then it's not like flat screens. You're going down with a
Yeah.
500-pound television on your back.
Those things were heavy as shit.
Oh my God!
holding them over their
Yeah.
heads.
And back then they didn't have like the accordion, the storefronts. I mean, how they come down now.
Oh,
they
like
were just
the,
like those scissors, so you just rip them up
Yeah.
underneath.
Go right
Yeah,
under.
those
Yeah,
are so
when-
dumb.
yeah,
I
when
felt
do you
those
ever
were a
see
waste
those?
of time.
Yeah.
You can always rip those off.
Yeah, well, and that started a chaos, and then it went
That was
on.
just the start. And how long was the blackout?
It went on till I think 24 hours.
Oh my
it went
God.
on. Yeah, it was.
But
was
the
bad.
whole city.
The whole city.
Just
Wow.
imagine trying to.
What was it from? Did they ever say like what?
It was something upstate. It was
Aliens.
something
some
went
asshole
out.
hit a transformer.
Yeah, transformer
That's
blew
gotta
out,
be
and
something.
it just clicked every borough.
What are
click,
the
click,
odds
click,
of
click.
that?
I don't know if that ever happen again.
Yeah,
You
they
know,
probably
anything's
got that
possible.
plan.
How sweaty were you, Rick?
God.
He took
You
a
know,
shower and then
I
he
remember
took another shower.
we went up to Flatbush Avenue, and all you hear was glass breaking and everything, and we just wound up coming back to the neighborhood and hanging out. You know, we had a radio and just, you know,
hanging out.
yeah, because we didn't know, like, what was going on at the time,
Right.
you know. And somebody had Scott Muni on. It was WNEW FM. That was a rock and roll station.
Yeah.
And he was giving us the play-by-play.
Yeah,
what
just
was
of like
happening.
what was
Yeah.
going on.
You know, and that was a crazy summer, you know.
Did everything come back on at once? Like the whole, or was it like
Yeah, I guess, you know,
Spot
everything
at a
started
time.
coming on. Everything came back. But by then, I just remember in the morning it was bad.
100 degrees,
Yeah.
glass everywhere in the street?
Oh, yeah, it was glass everywhere. Depending on what neighborhood you're in, you know. Not all neighborhoods were.
No, yeah.
In parts of Brooklyn, Bushwood got it the worst.
Right.
You know.
Well,
The urban areas got hit hard.
Of course.
You know. But yeah,
Me,
I mean,
me
then-
and Billy, growing up, you know, we would play, you know, wiffle ball and like tackle, twin touch on the lawn. Like we would do a bunch of stuff, but
Just
we
regular
would, yeah,
sports.
what was usually like the everyday summer?
everyday thing with us, it was the best. We ran out of the house because I lived down the block from the schoolyard, so
Yeah.
we were either playing handball, basketball. You know, we were playing softball, and I got winners on the court.
Right.
You know, nonstop.
Yeah, winners. Yeah.
Yeah, and then that would be it. We'd play all day long. You know, and summertime was the best because my friend Ernie would sell. He was the fireworks kid on the block.
He would sell them?
Yeah, so like, you know, here I am, like 11 years old with like 15 cents in my pocket. Hi, Ernie, can I have two M80s and
M80s.
3 pineapples? You know, I'm sitting.
How much were they selling them for? Like it was
Oh,
just
I
a
don't
couple
know.
cents,
Yeah.
or was it?
Yeah, it was pennies. I mean,
That's
you know,
great.
and then, you know, you had a
I
couple
wish.
of dollars when you got older, so we used to buy the mats.
Oh my god!
We would
yeah.
get everything. I mean, we get like a gross of Blockbusters.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
I mean, you think about it, it's dangerous. How crazy, you know. I would be sitting in my garage, like back then. The Band-Aid boxes used to be made out of metal,
right.
so I'm opening like, you know,
Throwing the whole
filling them
batch
up,
in.
taping it,
Yep.
and my father,
Like
I'll
a
never
grenade.
forget. I had my crate Schwinn bicycle, like, you know,
Yeah.
back then, and I'm going up, and he knew I was up to something, and it was like a block away. When I lit this thing, and I tell you, it was so loud, I actually got scared.
You were like
Couldn't
something.
You know,
Something
because it was
happened.
delayed, because you put like the match and you tape it.
Was it a
and-
fuse?
Yeah, it was like a fuse. You stuck them there. So we lighted it, and then once the fuse disappeared, that was it. You
Yeah,
waited and
you
waited.
waited till
And,
it
yeah,
burst.
and we put it on the handball court, had a crack in the wall. And when that thing went off, it was the loudest thing I ever heard. My father knew. He goes, "Was that you?" I said, "No, that wasn't me."
I would have been shit
There's
myself.
a dog outside. He
It
cried.
must have been. My dad told me that one day in the barber shop. I think it was the 4th of July, and someone had a flare gun or something like that.
Right, right.
And they said they popped it outside, like after at night. They
Right.
went out and shot it off. They said it was the fucking brightest thing in the
Oh
sky.
my God!
Yeah,
Oh,
lit the whole, probably lit the whole area up.
Sure. You know, that's like May
Those,
Day.
those are for the
Yeah, the
planes to pass
Titanic.
by.
Yeah,
Right,
the
yeah,
Titanic. Make sure
Stupid.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
you come pick me up.
Yeah,
Imagine that, like, oh, it's morning.
Yeah, it's like it's the biggest silver jet in the world. Oh man, so that though, those are fun days though. I mean, and
Did you guys do any good pranks or anything like
oh, I
that?
did so many pranks. Forget about it.
I
It's just
know.
crazy. But what was cool is the moped craze was nuts.
Oh,
This
really?
was before you had mopeds. There were no rules, so everybody was running wild. At the
On a
time.
moped.
My sister's ex-husband, he had this place in Manhattan Beach. It was called Mad Moped Motors, and he had was mopeds. He'd rent them, you
Yeah.
know, and they were nice, you know,
Mopeds. Yeah.
mopeds, and you know, you fill it up with gas and you went everywhere. I think it was like $40 for a couple of hours or whatever,
That's great.
and we would drive all over the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Go up 86th Street, 86th Street. You know, I don't know if you know, that was the big cruising spot.
Like why? What was the reason? It was just a.
It was the disco days, you know,
Yeah.
when they made Saturday Night Fever. You
Right.
know, there was that whole time when you were growing up. You know, if you had a cool car, you'd go up and all the girls would hang out and have the music going. Yeah, and they just had like they just had a big party last week. It was all over YouTube.
Right. Oh,
And-
everybody down there.
Yeah, it was on
No
86th Street.
way.
Everybody had their Cadillacs out. So
Wow.
Joe Causey from KTU.
Yeah, yeah.
He was there, so it was like a big event. It
Nice.
was over the weekend. But, you know, when you're living through it, it's just, you know, just like that I said, you went to 86th Street, you cruised up and down, you went down Kings Highway.
Yeah.
So one night, we're on the mopeds and we're zipping around. So I
Moped
believe,
gang.
I think we were on, I think it was 92nd Street. I'm not sure if it was, because there used to be a White Castle on 86th and Stillwell, and then there was one on 92nd and 5th. I'm not sure, but in the movie,
Yeah.
at the end of the movie, they're in White Castle.
Okay.
Travolta and everybody, and they're jumping up and down, and they're supposedly barking like dogs.
Yeah.
So we actually saw them filming that.
Well, that's hilarious.
So I'm on the moped. I'm like, what's going on? He said, John Travolta. I said, John Travolta. And he's a sweat hog, you know. They're making a disco movie. I didn't get it. So we're watching, and I was like, all right, and we just pulled away.
That's
I
so
wanted
funny.
to
Yeah,
become like such a big
the
deal.
biggest movie like
Yeah,
in like
it was
of the
like-
time.
Right.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Did you go see it and you're like, hey, I was there?
Was it like instantly like a big movie like when it came out, or was it did it take a while?
Well, no, in Brooklyn it was, because everybody knew
Right.
it was about Brooklyn, and it was
Yeah.
about 2001 Space Odyssey,
Yeah.
which was really a nothing club.
Uh-huh.
It's just that they had picked it because of the dance floor,
Yeah.
and it became so popular, you know, because of
Because
the
of that
movie.
movie.
And of course the dance.
Yeah.
And Aunt Janet's very good friends. In the movie, there's three couples. I don't know if you remember the dance. They did a dance off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the dance off.
So there was this girl, I think her name was Buttons, and they knew her. They knew her from the neighborhood.
Wow.
And she was actually in the movie.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
I wonder how they did the recruiting. I wonder if they just went up to like maybe they found people in the street.
They might have just known, you know, because they were hustlers. They hustled
right.
danced.
Or maybe
you
they
know.
actually went into the clubs and like that. Maybe that's what they
They
did.
could
to
have
get
been
them.
there, you know. And Monty Rock the Third, you know, there was a big disco song. He was the DJ in the movie. you know.
Right.
And some of the people who worked there were actually in the movie, you know. The bouncer.
Exactly, yeah,
you
the
know,
bouncer
so-
that was over
Answer
there.
me this, Rick. Was everyone born knowing how to dance those moves back then? Or was it just like...
It was just
we
freestyle.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
But it was just.
So I
a-
feel like in all the movies, it's like they had a routine.
Yeah,
right?
well, if
And
you,
then,
if
like-
you
yeah.
know how to hustle dance, you were cool. You
Yeah.
know, that was the thing.
That's what
You know,
everybody
freestyle
says.
came a little bit later. You
Yeah.
know, that was like more of the late 70s,
Late
early
70s.
80s. You know.
Was it a certain person that like started the hustle? Or was it a group of
no,
people?
it actually
or-
was all an underground thing. I mean,
Oh.
from what I understand, like, you know, a lot of the gay clubs early on in the early 70s, that's where the dance craze
Craze
really,
started.
you know, and that's where that music came from.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and before the, you know, the pop music they used to play, you hear on the radio.
Yeah.
So a lot of the underground stuff became popular.
Yeah.
You know, so if you were in the know, you know, you knew, you know, where to go, what clubs to listen, you know, where they would play the radio. And normally, like WBLS was a black-owned radio station, so that's where you would hear all the club music.
Yeah.
And on AM radio, there was, I think it was called WWRL. They used to play a lot of like Kool and the Gang,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, all of
Like
the cool music, you know.
They had the Humpty Hump on there.
The Humpty Hump. I actually
Rest
saw
in
them
peace.
film. There was a piece of the Warriors, the movie The Warriors.
In Coney Island, or was it in?
Well,
different
there
spot?
was, you know, it wasn't actually in Coney Island. I was going down 15th Avenue in Brooklyn, in Bay Ridge, and I see this light set up. It was a rainy night,
Yeah.
and I'm looking, and I see, you know, I pulled over. I said, they're making a movie. It's called The Warriors.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in the movie, there's a scene where they're supposed to be in the Bronx. They're being chased by somebody, you know. I forget the names of remember the gangs?
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You know, the guys that had the baseball bats.
Yeah, the Bruisers. Or
Yeah,
something
the
like that.
bruisers was like, come on, baby. I remember her lips were like, you know, it's time to get to Coney.
Right.
Yeah, yeah,
That was perfect.
yeah, it was fun.
It's time to get 'em.
Yeah,
That was good.
You know.
That was good.
you only got time to get home.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they
Who
come.
comes out after dark?
Yeah, right. So the kid comes. It's a guy and his girlfriend. They were the two being chased. I forget their names. And he comes running out, and there's a scene where they throw a Molotov cocktail at
Right.
them, and the car blows up. And it was just a little poof, a little flame, little glass. You know, I'm like, that's it. You know. But in the movies, it's like,
Yeah.
Because they just redo it.
yeah, and I said, I remember that. I saw them filming that.
They were throwing it.
You know, and it's so funny because every time it's on, I told my wife, she looks at me, she goes, here we go again. All
There
right,
it
you
is.
saw it, and we pause it, and I go,
I was over there in that corner.
because there's a scene, if you look up, it says 15th Avenue and 62nd Street in the corner.
Yeah.
On the like in the background.
Yeah.
So I said, they're not in the Bronx, they're in Brooklyn.
They're lying. Yeah,
They're
I know.
lying.
I always think about too. Like, where are they really?
Yeah.
It's like because they could probably just be anywhere.
Yeah, it's
They'll
like, you know,
stage it.
I love that when they're making a movie. It's like, you know, it's supposed to be like, you know, in the 30s, and all of a sudden, like, you know,
Yeah.
Corvette goes on in the background.
Right.
Or someone has a watch on.
Yeah.
Or like
So,
with
you know,
an-
or a Bic lighter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
big.
know, you know, some, you know.
Like,
There's people who watch movies to check that shit out, to find out.
I
you
love
know.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, and if
I
you,
lo-
I think in Game of Thrones, someone had their iPhone on the table or something
Yes.
like that.
Stupid
they had
stuff.
coffee
Right,
cups and
right.
water
It's
bottles.
insane.
Yeah.
I think.
He says, "Wait a minute, he has an electric start. They didn't have that."
Yeah. The horses.
The horses.
Did you see that in? I think it was in Gladiator. There was that scene with the horse when they had to use the horse had to like flip over or something like that, like
Right.
the cage. But when it flipped over, you could see like the canisters that like bursted it open, like
Oh.
for the flip.
Oh, okay.
So I guess they.
In other words, the air that made the
Right, to automate,
yes.
like for them to do the effect.
Right.
But I was like, I like finding that stuff.
Oh,
out.
of
It
course.
just makes you realize, like,
and you
interesting.
say, "Wait, was that what? Oh, that's so cool."
yeah.
Today with the CGI, it's amazing.
Oh yeah, they could take everything out.
Oh God.
And now they're making people who are like 80 years old look like they're back to the 30s
Yeah,
again.
like,
That's pretty cool.
yeah.
With the movie with
Irishman.
The Irishman, it was okay. I mean, that's another movie that they blew up to be this big blockbuster.
Right.
To
Yeah.
make it like Goodfellas.
I wouldn't say it was like
Goodfellas
that.
was,
Yeah, Goodfellas
one of the
was
best.
better, yeah.
That we all know that. It's only because who was in it, and half of it they say wasn't even true. They said that he
yeah?
wasn't even the guy. Shannon wasn't really the guy that killed
What's his
Hoffa.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's so many conspiracy about that.
Yeah. Nobody will really know, right?
Yeah.
Unless
I mean,
the people who did it do.
Right. So who really knows the truth?
You watched The Sopranos.
Yeah.
When
yeah.
it first came out, like, did you watch it then?
I knew right away it was
Yeah.
going to be a hit.
And
It's a difficult situation.
never goes.
yeah. With Paulie and
You're looking
everything.
fat.
I watched the clips all day.
Remember, you're looking
What?
fat.
You're looking fat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there's too many one-liners. My friend Richie always sends me these clips. Like every other day, it's like, oh my God, I remember this. So I really want to go back and watch the whole thing again.
It is good.
Have you start having a salad?
Oh, that was the
Listen,
best.
think.
It's like, you're fat
It's an
too.
amazing thing. This brick's got to go.
That's good.
Paulie
Paulie
was the
Wall.
best. But he was for real though. He was a
know.
neighborhood guy. My uncle.
I didn't. I assumed, but I just didn't really look into it. Like,
My uncle used to bet like in OTB on Bay Parkway in Brooklyn.
No
he was a
way.
neighborhood guy.
wow.
That's hilarious. And they had him in the show.
Yeah, well, he was in a couple of shows. He was in Goodfellas. If you know,
What,
he's
Paul?
in the background.
Oh yeah.
He was in a couple. He was in The Raging Bull,
Yeah.
which was another great movie.
Yeah, I haven't seen. I would have to look again.
Yeah,
because
it's
gotta
the
look
background
I gotta
stuff
look him
until they
back,
put him
yeah.
up front.
I saw that they're making the Saints of Newark, which is
Yes, that's
Where's that?
Gandolfini's son. He's
yeah,
supposed
James
to play
Gandolfini,
Yeah.
who played Tony. His son, his
Okay.
real son, is playing him as a kid,
As
like
a
growing
young
up.
kid growing up.
Ah,
And they're
it's all
having-
back.
The original cast, like they're playing. People are playing the cast of The Sopranos, like when
Okay.
they're during back in the
Yeah,
day.
yeah, they want to go before when it all
Before it all
started.
started, yeah.
Right.
Because everybody loved it so much. It was such a shame that he died. As such a young man.
Yeah,
at a
bless
heart
his
attack.
soul.
Yeah, man. He's a great actor.
I think
Yeah.
the last movie he did, I think, was with Tom Hardy. It was called like The Drop.
Oh,
Did
yeah.
you see that?
Yeah, I think so.
And I forgot. I haven't seen it in so long.
Right,
But yeah, I couldn't. I think it was 2013. That was the last one.
right. They said he was nothing like the character. He
It
was
seems
a real
like
sweet
he's-
guy. Like very.
Yeah, but it just seems like he is that. Like that's just his
That's
normal.
how good he is
That's
because
his
he was in Pending. He was a big guy.
Yeah,
Right.
no,
6'5". You
huge.
see how big he is.
How he was
6'5".
6'5"?
Yeah, he was a big
Jeez.
man. Intimidating.
And he was wide too.
Yeah,
He's
he's
like a
wide.
fridge.
Yeah, you didn't get to
I
the
like
door.
that pun. He's sitting there. Remember, we were sitting there with the he was eating peanut butter.
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
on his
yeah.
belly.
Yeah.
His stomach.
And he's breathing heavy. Hey, Christopher, what are you doing over there?
We got no more gabagool. I know, but it was good. I know. You've seen a lot of the movies like Saturday Night Fever and like The Warriors, like them filming. But have you ever like ran into a celebrity back in the day? Or anything like that?
Yes, I have. It was pretty cool. My at the time it was 19. I think it was 1980. Rod Stewart. Have you everybody knows? Rod
Yeah,
Yeah, I
Stewart?
know, Ross.
He was singing in Madison Square Garden, and at the time, my sister's husband, Derek, who was not with us today, may he rest easy.
Yeah.
He was driving limousine.
Okay.
So Rob was staying in a house somewhere. I'm dipping some park somewhere. I don't know where it was. It was a house.
Right.
So he wanted to come out and just come out and hang
Yeah.
out. So my sister at the time was living in Manhattan Beach, and she had her backyard was Brighton 1. It was
Right.
like Bay 1. It was like I was at yard. So I got a phone call. I was home, and my sister said, "If you want to meet Rod Stewart, you could take one friend."
That's crazy.
And I was like, wow. And I said, Rod Stewart.
Yeah.
Take me.
Do You Think I'm Sexy was like the #1 on the radio.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like, sugar, the song, right? So now I call my friend Steven, and I tell him, I said, we go there. And, we're 18 years old. We're being stupid. I didn't know what they asked. I mean, Maggie May, that's the only song I knew.
Right.
That and the other one. So,
Yeah.
but it was, from what I remember, he was sitting outside, he had the leopard pants on, and he, there was other people that asking questions about, more stuff. But, yeah.
And he was just hanging out?
Yeah, he was just hanging out. He didn't want to go in the house. I remember my
That's
sister.
funny.
He felt weird going in the house because he was like claustrophobic because he just wanted to hang out outside.
Right.
And then, and I think they took him to the city after that. But he stopped by for a little bit.
Do you remember what you
That's so
where
cool.
you were just asking about music? Like,
I don't even think I even asked him anything. I just kind of like
say
was-
hello.
Just vibing with him.
Just hanging out.
Yeah, was just hanging out. I remember he was shaking. He had like this guttural thing.
Really?
Yeah, it was weird. Yeah, I remember
Wow.
that. He was like,
It's things you don't see. I mean,
yeah,
What do you think it was? Ticks or drugs?
who knows?
I mean,
But I
back
remember he
then-
had the leopard pants on.
Yeah.
He wasn't kicking any soccer balls, that's for sure.
Okay.
That's his thing,
Right,
He
right.
was a Scotsman.
Scott. Yeah,
So
and
Scott, yeah.
my dad told me one time that when he was in his he said there was more. He met a lot of people, like not like
Schwarzenegger.
yes, he met Arnold,
I met Arnold.
and you met Arnold
Yes,
too, right at the
yes.
gym.
Yeah, and that was all around the same time. There was a place called Bath Beach Bodybuilding.
Right.
Pete Caputo's. It was on Avenue.
Mhm.
And I was working out with my friend Richie Rod, may he rest easy. Richie was the type of guy, he didn't care about anything.
Okay.
So we knew Arnold was coming in for a seminar because at the time he was a seventh world champion. He was the best.
And he's huge.
He was huge. So, this is 78 and he's, doing seminars and stuff. So he comes to the gym. It was Saturday, but this was Friday night. So we're working out in the corner. So all of a sudden you hear chatter like, Arnold's here, Arnold's here. So all of a sudden all the weights got quiet.
Yeah.
And I look at Richie and I go, Rich, Arnold's here. He goes, fuck him. He goes, I don't give a shit. I said, all right, I was like, I'm spotting him. With kids, like all of a sudden
No.
Arnold came right over to us because we were the only ones that
gonna
didn't
be
stop.
lifting, yeah. What did he say?
And I said, Arnold, I shook his hand. This is before, he even made,
the movie.
Yeah.
Really?
yeah, what was that big movie he made?
Uh,
Conan the Barbarian.
Yeah,
That was like 2 years before that.
right.
Yeah, so he, to my surprise, he wasn't as tall as I thought, but when he turned around, his back was like the
huge,
size of this table.
gigantic.
And he smiled with that, famous gap,
Right.
and it was cool, And there's actually pictures of him, that next day, that everybody was
Oh,
around him.
that-
it
because
was-
it-
yeah.
what was it-
I bet his accent was really thick back then.
Oh, of course. Well, it's still the same,
Yeah, he likes that. He's still, it's still the same
Still
thing.
got
Yeah. So that was an experience, the Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, he took my dad told me he was in the elevator and he walked in like I guess he was going to a certain floor, and he was like Arnold. He's like, how are you?
How
are
you?
But the funniest thing he told me one time, he's
Dylan.
like, yeah, Dylan,
Get in the elevator.
I know.
click the buttons.
Wow.
He said that he was I don't know how old he was. He said he was going to work, and he's like, I saw this kid getting chased by these two guys.
Right.
And he's like, hey, and he started like yelling at them, but he realized that they were filming Home Alone with
Oh, wow.
yeah, with,
Oh, really?
with Pesci
Yeah,
and what's his
imagine.
name?
Oh wow, that's so cool.
So he
Who was
said,
the actor again? Michelle McCalkin, right?
yeah, Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Macaulay
Macaulay
Culkin. Sorry, I got his name wrong.
for the second movie, I guess when they were filming, he was going to work.
Stop
So he was
chasing
like-
that kid.
He was like about to run over,
That's great.
but
That's so
they said that they were rolling.
Another celebrity was a Green Man. Was Lou Ferrigno.
Oh yeah,
That's where because, a cousin Ronnie went out with his sister Lisa.
Right.
When they were kids.
that's great.
So he opened up a gym on McDonald Avenue and Avenue P. This was like 84, 85.
Yeah.
Right before I got married. And I would work out there. So he was in California. He was already doing, the Hulk.
Yeah,
The Hulks were already filmed, and he was making Hercules. I think it was 85. And he was in great shape. And he bought the gym for his father ran it, and his brother Andy. And we'd work out there,
Right.
And then he'd have his gym. It was an old Key Food that they just, they
just
made the
switched over.
storefront. That right.
That's funny.
And I remember he came in one day, and wow, talk about big. He's
He's a big guy.
6'5".
Oh, I didn't know he was
He's
tall too.
Lou Ferrigno?
Well, he was just the size of him.
I know he was a big dude.
insane.
Yeah, I didn't think he was tall.
And when they'd say Louis, they'd say everybody screaming, "Come on, Lou, give us some muscle."
Yeah.
When I tell you, when
His
he took his
muscle.
shirt off,
He's got-
when he went like this, you
Like
actually
Stone.
heard the elasticity go,
Yeah. Yeah. It's
and
insane.
his bicep just popped. Like the Hulk.
Yeah, yeah.
It felt like Richard, like Banner. What was his name?
Yeah, Bruce.
Yeah, bro. And just amazing. Matter of fact, I have a friend on the Facebook,
Yeah.
and he just got a cochlear implant in his ear
What is that?
not too
like?
long ago. Well, he was deaf.
Oh, I didn't know
Louis
that.
was born deaf,
Wow.
and that's why he.
So what does it make you hear
That's
again?
why he talked like that because
Okay.
he had a funny
Was it just he was just one ear he was deaf or both?
I
Like, was
think
he-
I'm not sure if it was one or two because he couldn't hear himself. That's why he always talked like that.
Wow, I didn't know that. I didn't
Yeah,
know
and that's
that.
why everybody was upset because when he did the hook, he didn't talk,
Right, right.
and
Maybe that's why.
in the movie Hercules they dubbed his voice.
Yeah.
But the thing is, he sounds great now, and it's amazing. He's like 69, I think, or 70. He looks amazing. Louis.
Yeah, he does.
And he was just talking, and you could hear the way he speaks now. He
So what changed?
pronounces his T's, and if you go like this and close your ear when you
Yeah.
speak, you can't. You're going to sound funny.
Yeah,
Right.
it sounds off.
Now, right, and we don't realize it because we just talk normal.
so what did he get, like a hearing thing to fix his speech?
Yeah, well, he can hear now. He can actually hear
Okay.
sounds like high pitched sounds.
Yeah, vibrations probably.
So they just the technology today is amazing.
It's incredible.
It's insane.
You know.
They're
Who
making
knows
people
what
who've
they'll
never
have.
seen color before see color.
Yeah, isn't it amazing? Like when they show you like some person that never heard before, they're able to hear, and it's like they start flipping out.
Yeah,
like, oh my
it's
God,
great. It's great that they can
wild.
do it. I can't imagine for people who are both like deaf and blind. And
I still say, one of my favorite, probably top artists is Stevie Wonder.
Right.
If Stevie
Yeah.
had sight, I don't know if he would be like as good as he was.
did you ever see those videos online, like Stevie could see, like those joke videos?
Yeah.
Like all the
Oh,
celebrities.
when he's driving, when
Yeah.
he's driving the,
When he's
yeah.
driving the car.
They did one when
And he's a funny sport though. He goes
He
with
does,
all
he
that
does.
stuff,
there's like
When
like-
Eddie Murphy would make fun of him,
right. There was a clip online of I think Paul McCartney was doing, I don't know if it was for like a show like SNL or some type of celebration show,
Right.
but he was running from the piano to the guitar or something like that, and he dropped the mic, and the mic was coming towards Stevie, and he just grabbed it.
Oh,
So they
really?
were like,
I don't know.
I don't know about that.
Said, one eye came out,
But he
found
said,
it.
I forgot who it was. They said, I think it was Shaq.
He's eyeballing that shore.
He said, Shaq, he's like, I was in the elevator. Shaq says, I was in the elevator, and he's like, Stevie came in, he was like, what's up, Shaq? Like he knew right away. He's like, Stevie, how the fuck did you know I was in the elevator? He's like, I could smell you.
I smell you. Oh, that's funny.
But I know you were talking about Saturday Night Fever, and I
Yes.
know you brought some stuff.
Oh yeah.
If you want to get into that.
Yeah, if you wanna
I
get into a
just
few of
bought,
the
like,
things.
Ricky
shoes
did-
from back in the day.
Ricky brought not only his shoes, but he brought us a nice. What'd you bring us? Food.
Here you go.
He brought
Look
us
at this.
calzone.
There you go. Oh yeah, the calzone. You ate
The
that
calzone
already.
is gone.
Yeah.
I can't
These
show
are
that.
1974.
Here, yeah, you can lift
Let's talk
it up.
about that. What is that?
There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah, show the
this is
camera.
you want to call it the disco shoe.
Yeah, show them.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that's for
camera?
this one right
Yeah,
here.
here you go.
That's the disco shoe from back in the
Yeah.
day.
I was sent home in grammar school with one of these on.
Just
Yeah, then Sister Mary, 8th grade, she went, Richard, those aren't dress code shoes.
shoes.
And I was sent home. No, but I saved them for a goof.
That's great though.
That's
I mean,
all.
imagine me in those. I'd be like 7'2".
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, boogie platforms.
What are how many inches on that?
That's probably about what? Is that like 4 inches?
I'd say, yeah.
Four
I'd say
inches.
about.
That's great.
Maybe more.
And it was easy to walk in those.
No. Not at all.
He's like, absolutely not.
No, absolutely not.
Were you grooving in those?
Yeah, I was moving. And here's an original pair of
The Pro Kids.
Pro-Keds before the stripe. These were probably 1970.
Wow.
And how much did you get them for?
Yeah,
back
how much?
then?
Were, how
Oh,
much
I
were
don't-
the shoes when they came out back then?
How much were they? I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't think they were more than $30.
Wow.
I wonder what they would be in mint condition now. Probably a lot.
Maybe
Probably worth it,
$20,
especially with that
$20,
$20.
Because we would want the
Yeah,
suede,
yeah,
the
the
suede
suede.
ones came out, the suede Pokés.
Right.
And if you really had a little extra money, the most expensive were the Puma.
The
Because now
Pumas.
Pumas come all different colors.
Yeah.
But back then, if you got them wet, you could forget about your socks because everybody's socks were red, green.
Oh, yeah.
Now for some reason they don't run. I don't know why. It was the dye that they used.
Oh,
back
yeah?
then. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. Like shoes now, like what they got, like how much, and the sneaker heads, and like people are waiting outside for like days just to get a pair of like
days.
Kanye's shoes,
Yeah.
Oh.
And they look like.
and they look like
neighbors yawn.
French
This-
toast.
This kid at work,
Oh no.
he's a
What
good
happened?
kid, but he came and he bought these things. If it was on the street, I would go like, "What is that?"
Yeah.
It was a rubber, I guess, a shoe.
Right.
You know the helmets that your kids wear, on the bicycle with the holes.
Yeah, the bike helmet.
Oh, it looked like. Oh, I know what you're talking about.
That's what it was.
Okay.
It's-
$350.
Nikes?
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
No, it was Kanye sneakers.
Oh, it was Kanye
No, I don't want to. If it's a sneaker, it's
Right.
a rubber shoe.
I've seen. I don't know what. Like I feel like I know what you're talking about. If I saw a picture,
It's just hideous.
I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
I don't- I
He's got
think it's-
everybody believing that
It's the thing.
and once you get hooked, you think
Yeah.
that's the thing.
And once it's a trend, it's going to be for a while.
the price is all right. They make limited edition. Okay, I can understand if it's signed by somebody.
Signed
if
by
you have like
Kanye.
an original Michael Jordan. Michael's running all the way to the bank. Some of his sneakers are real cool though.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
understand?
I like his
but
sneakers.
for $200-300,
Jordans are nice.
No.
come
nah,
on.
it's really expensive.
I mean, you could buy an Italian loafer.
Do you remember
handmade.
Yeah, do you
I
remember
know,
when they
yeah.
can't? What was it?
And these shoes are made in China for
Like 50 cents.
exactly.
exactly. And the kids are like breaking their fingers for it.
And now you're getting shot over.
but they
them.
made the the Back to the Future kicks.
Oh, yeah, did you see those?
No.
It's like the the ones they made in the movie when they tighten by itself. It's like
Oh, yeah,
it goes
right,
in. Yeah,
right,
they
right.
made those actual shoes, and they went for like what $25K or something like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
They went for a lot of money.
Because
Really?
I think they only made like 1,000 of them or something like that, right?
Yeah,
I
they
remember
make the money.
Reebok. I remember came out with the pump. I had them. In the front lip, it was a basketball, and you went, and it tightened it up.
Really?
Yeah, made you a little.
You were like this?
Give a little
So you
flight.
get a little-
Give
yeah,
you
yeah,
some-
so you can-
give you a little bit of sky.
Yeah,
when
what
you
was
get
the
up there.
pump thing?
It was just an air.
What was
air.
it?
It would
just-
suck
it was
the
just air?
shoes
No,
together.
it would tighten up the sides of
The
your
sides.
shoe.
Oh, okay.
So it just like
So you
so,
have grip,
yeah.
so you can jump
Yeah,
high.
so you can get an extra 2 inches, right?
I'll never forget
Just a
my
gimmick.
my grandma, my mom's mom,
Yeah.
took us to like the basketball courts one day,
hmm
and she was wearing like these wedges or something. Like we
Right.
were just kids, and I was like, I want the shoes because we were just watching. You remember that? You ever see that movie Like Mike? There
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
And he's got like the Michael Jordan
Make your
shoes.
shoe better.
Right, right.
Yeah, and I was like, I want the shoes that make you fly, like
Right,
that,
right.
so I can dunk. And she told me like her shoes. She's like, these are them.
Oh.
She's like, these
These
are
are the
ones.
fly
I
shoes.
wanted to wear her shoes
Oh, my
for the whole day.
The whole day.
And she wouldn't let me wear them.
them.
I was like, you have to. I was like, go ahead. I was like, jump. And she's like, no, I can't.
Can't
jump
when you're a
without
kid,
your
you remember that?
shoes.
Yeah, remember. You know what always amazed me? Like when you go to let's say a neighborhood that's, like a kind of a bad neighborhood.
Right.
And you see the basketball court.
Yeah.
You don't see a piece of gum
No,
or a piece of
nothing.
glass. Nothing. Mint clean.
Yeah.
Always have a fresh net.
The best because
Respect.
they want to do it. That's
Yeah.
what they got.
I always used to get a kick like when the city, back, I don't even know if they do it anymore, when they used to put the courts up, the nets were steel.
Oh,
Yeah, like
I
the-
hate
Because
it.
they'd last forever. Like,
Right.
stainless steel.
But then they-
I
but
think
then
that's
they-
where they got the Swiss sound from.
Yeah.
Swiss, like that.
Yeah. It was like a
You
great
know.
like.
Yeah.
I
That's
used to
called
like
a
when they broke.
jailhouse swish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From downtown.
When
Yeah.
those chain nets broke,
Yes,
though, it's
Mom,
like-
Abbott going live. Jordan going for 3. Yes. Marv's going to retire this year.
Who is?
Marv Albert.
Is he?
Yeah. That's another thing that annoyed me because I'm a Knicks fan, right?
Yeah.
Well, the Knicks got knocked out, but,
Right.
they were in contention.
They were doing white.
Yeah. The Nets are in.
Yeah.
I mean, they can go.
Yeah. I
You know?
can't believe they had a good roster, right? Everybody was happy about that.
They paid a lot of money, a lot of that Russian money.
That's how it
I think
goes.
that's
The
Russian
European money.
Yeah, he owns it, and he has the best out there. And a lot of people forget that the Nets were an ABA team.
Yeah.
American Basketball Association. They brought them in, and it was New York Nets.
Right.
They were out of Long Island. That's when Dr. J played for them.
I didn't know Long Island. Yeah.
Then they were like the Jersey Nets, and now
Yeah.
Brooklyn,
Now the Brooklyn.
which is cool. But I won't switch. You know.
Yeah.
You
Even
know.
though that's territory.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now they had to switch through like
No,
the third
yeah, I'm just
set.
saying.
Yeah.
Like he's staying loyal to the Knicks.
He's staying
Exactly.
loyal to it. But like I said, you know, I always used to get mad that Marv Albert was always he would do the sports for
Right.
the Knicks. But he knew that Jordan was the best. So every time you would watch a Knick game, you'd see how excited Marv would get. You know,
Right.
you would know whose team he's rooting for. He would say, you know, passing off the dog, you know.
Yeah.
You remember?
He would
say,
always-
Starks with a soft touch. Oakley, yes. Michael Jordan. And it would be, oh, God. You know, he would go, you know,
There's like a whole.
pass it off the three. You know, Starks the
It's
three,
good.
yes. You know, Jordan silencing this garden crowd.
Yeah, that was
It'd
good.
be, oh, my God. You know, take it easy. But
There's
when they
running-
go back in 30 years, whose voice you going to hear?
Yeah.
All those clips are going to be Marv.
Yeah.
And he knew that.
It's true.
Because he had the golden
Because
voice.
he had that
There's
voice.
jokes.
Because all
about,
the oh, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I was saying there's jokes like of like people crying. It says when your team's losing and you hear that bang, you're like swish.
Oh,
You're
yeah,
like-
yeah,
and
yeah,
It's
right.
like it's over. It's like
But all the Alberts have that, and they're allowed
Right, right.
because you know Kenny and what's the other Albert? You know, there's the three brothers.
right. Yeah, they all do
They all
the,
have they have that sound. That yes, going downtown
For three.
Yes, Jordan. He would go. He would do sports with Frazier.
Right.
And Frazier would come up with the lines. You know.
I love what they come up on the spot.
Oh my God.
They can go
Switching
all day.
addition and transition.
Yeah.
You know. Oh. He'd have forget about it. He was the best. You know, but like I said,
I did a wedding Saturday,
right.
and it's like typical, like, you know, like the normal weddings work, and we do videos, you know, just of like everything, like we get like the bride and groom and them coming in. But one of my friends who was shooting with us said if for his wedding he would love to have like a like the announcers, like, all right,
Right.
he's like let's say his name's James. She's like, James looking pretty good
Yeah.
right now. He's
Yeah.
sweating a little bit. He's
He's
nervous
sweating
about
a
the
little bit.
altar.
He's coming down with his
he's
brand new shoes.
That would be
Those
perfect.
shoes he bought it. I think father and son. Is
I
that?
heard he was getting cold feet.
Yes, yes. Well, he forgot the ring. Yeah.
Flower girl, tripping over the mantle.
Okay. And then
One
they
of- one of the
and
groomsmen.
here they come, and they play that song, ding, 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 you know, with the lights.
And they come down like this.
Dun,
Like a
dun,
ball
dun,
under the
dun,
legs.
dun, dun.
That's funny. But everything's changed. I mean,
Everything's different.
everything can't be the same. Like rice, when we got married, they would throw rice at you.
Right,
Yeah.
couscous,
You know,
whatever it is.
Now it's like, you know, the balloons, the dove. Like,
The
what are they going to do
bubbles.
next?
I don't know.
It's
And they
like
blow bubbles.
you have a kid. I mean, back then it was Sweet 16. That's it. Now it's everything. You know, if you have a
Right.
girl,
Forget about it.
it's like $1,000 before. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
for
Before you even get there.
everything. You know, but that's how things are now.
Yeah, it's always going to be changed. I always think about like weddings will always be a thing, of course.
course,
but they're
yeah.
always going to change, like little things or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But
I mean, yeah, well, like I said, back then, you know, they used to have, they called them football weddings. I don't know if you ever heard of that.
no, what is
Backyard
that? Like,
wedding?
Well, a football wedding meant like, you know, probably up until maybe the late '60s. Before you would go to a wedding hall, which
Okay.
there was just small catering halls back then. You know, and you'd pay, you know, $35, $40 a dish. Now it's like, you know, 120 a
Right,
person. It's
120 a
ridiculous.
person.
It's too
Yeah.
much.
Nobody's even making money. A football wedding would be basically cold cut sandwiches wrapped up in cellophane.
There you go.
And then you have the family would all be together. You know, it might be on a roof, it might be in somebody's yard, and they'd say, "All right, Tommy, sausage and pepper," and they'd throw it at you. And
Get
you'd
outta
catch 'em.
here.
That's what they call it, a football wedding.
I never heard of that.
They toss the sandwiches at
That's
you.
hilarious.
Yeah, hence the name, you know, football wedding.
Turkey on rye, come on.
Turkey on rice.
Turkey
Who got the
on rice,
Reuben?
Yeah, yeah, baby.
Shoot him with the
That's
gun,
it.
like in the games with the
Yeah, it's
t-shirts.
all, and an ace for bologna. Boom.
Meatball and cheese.
Yeah, that's, you know, that's what it was back in the day.
No, yeah, but like it was just so funny thinking about that. Like that'd be a great skit for SNL, like the basketball wedding.
Oh yeah, yeah,
It'd
That
like,
would be
they're like,
funny.
oh, groomsmen down, it's a foul.
yeah.
It's like
Well, that's another thing that stinks
The
now.
rings are missing. The rings are
the
missing.
rings are gone.
SNL has got, you know, it's boring. You might get a little bit.
know.
But,
Yeah,
you know,
I feel like
the
it's
hit
first
or
40
miss, but
minutes,
it's
I'm
one
done.
miss.
You know.
I know.
You know what I
It's-
miss? Mad TV. I
Yeah,
miss
it
Mad
was fun.
TV.
Mad TV.
Yeah,
And
I used to
I used to
what
like
was-
the guy, the FedEx. Oh, was it the UPS guy. Remember, he's always on the
Oh
run.
yeah.
Because they're always, they're always
yeah.
moving. Like
Yeah.
when they come in, it's like
It's true.
Sign here, sign here.
Sign here.
What was the show with Jim Carrey when he was on All Living Color and Living
In
Color?
living color.
In Living Color.
With Jamie Foxx
was,
on it. That was
great.
good, too.
That was great. That
They
was
int-
really funny. Matter of fact, James Mooney, Paul Mooney, he was an actor. He was on, he was a comedian. He used to write all the skits for that.
Right.
You know, he was
Oh,
a
yeah,
very
yeah.
funny guy.
They
you
come up
know.
with 1,000 of them.
And he was on a lot of Chappelle.
Chappelle.
You ever see that Negro Amos?
Nick Ramos?
Yeah, you never saw that?
No,
Oh, it's
no.
too funny. Yeah,
I
oh,
didn't
you
see
got to
it.
watch it later.
I'll look
What,
it up.
from what show?
Yeah, and instead of on the Chappelle show, instead
the
of
Chappelle
Nostradamus, he was
Oh,
Negrodamus.
Negrodamus.
He
Yeah.
had the best
obviously.
skits.
Oh, he was too
He came
funny.
up with the.
And he
did.
wrote a lot of the stuff. He wrote for Richard Pryor. He just passed away like last
I
week.
didn't know he wrote for Richard Pryor.
He wrote for a lot of the top comedians, and he wrote for Living Color.
Right.
You didn't listen to his last stand-up? He said he made most of these motherfuckers. Remember?
No, I know he did.
Oh,
He did.
he's good. Funny.
He's good when he's on
I love when
stand-up.
he's like roasting
Yeah.
everyone.
Yeah. He would jam on the white guys though.
all
the
heavy,
time.
heavy duty.
When he's like, I love when he did the white guy skits. This is the best. He's like, oh, thanks, Karen.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh my god.
Coming back to you from.
WNBC.
You
Yeah.
ever see when he was blind?
Oh, that's the best when he
And
thinks
he's
he's the
a
Klans
racist?
member.
Yes.
He thinks
that
he,
was the first. That wasn't that the first episode.
One of them.
Might have
I have to revisit that.
collection.
I have the DVD.
They're really good.
yeah, he does. If you want to listen to it, he did like a whole podcast with Joe Rogan.
Oh
That-
yeah,
yeah,
you
that
know
was really good,
Rogan
too.
is amazing. You know,
Yeah.
I heard because, like I said, I listened to Jim Norton and Sam Roberts on Sirius. They're funny. They're great.
Right.
They always have the comedians on, so I'm kind of like up on top of everything. You know, Bob Kelly. You know, whatever is out there,
Oh,
and
yeah.
they always talk about that. And yeah, he's something else.
No,
you know?
he's good. Yeah,
You know,
but it's just like he went away for so long and then he came back and he's still killing it.
he's
Like,
still killing it.
No, I love.
You know what I like? I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
They were just talking about that. What he does now is you can't go anywhere without somebody filming. So what he
Oh,
does
100%.
is he has a box, and you have to put your phone in the box
Yeah.
before you go see him,
right.
which is cool, which is smart.
I think
Because, you
that's a
know,
good
why
idea.
you're going to work on
Then
some
you can find-
material.
yeah, you're
and
paying
then,
for what you're gonna watch.
you
what
know,
you pay.
it's
What, you
going to
can
be
watch
like,
your phone?
yeah, you're going to, that's how, like with
how it should
Seinfeld,
be.
you know, they want to go to all these small clubs, Caroline's in Manhattan, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
They do their material, you know, and if you don't want it stolen, you know, because you're working on it, you want to see what's funny, what's not, and they build a 40-minute show,
Right.
you know, and but they don't want people filming it and then they put it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then like if anything bad happens, that'll be trending and
Yep.
whatnot. Or if they turn around something out of context, they can do anything.
You know, and that's another thing, like what you can do and what you can't do. You know, it's tough. It's hard.
It's different today with comedy, definitely.
Oh, but just about everything.
Everything.
You know,
yeah, you got to be careful. Like,
Policing. A cop can't even
Yeah.
get out of a car without being filmed. You know.
Yeah.
You know,
And they got to
it's a
film.
different world.
They got to film. We got to film. Like everybody has the
Everyone
camera.
has the
out.
camera.
Everybody
I
has
love
that.
Kevin Hart did a skit. He was like, do you know how scary it was back in the day when you committed a crime, and they said we got you on tape?
Yeah.
He was like, no.
not on tape.
He's like, not. He's like, he's like, you got us on tape.
He's like, they got us on tape. So he called all the people that were hiding. John, Joseph, they got us on
They got
tape.
us on tape. It don't matter.
Don't matter what happened.
But he was like, it don't matter because everyone's got a phone now.
Yeah.
They can record everybody. But yeah, no one's safe in that aspect. But
You
Like-
can't go anywhere without, you know. But you know what? I'm amazed. You know, it's really cool, though. You know what I mean? Here I am, like a kid
right,
writing, you know, stuff down. Oh, 2021, I'll be 60. I wonder what's going to be.
Yeah,
you know, and I'm
right,
like,
right.
you know, imagine you're going to have a Dick Tracy phone and a watch, you know.
right.
But this thing here does everything imaginable.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to call you anymore and say, hey, Rick, you know, remember that song? You know, that's not, you don't have to do it anymore.
No.
I can
Yeah, no.
Google anything.
You can hum it. You can sing
can
whatever
I
you
can
want
hum
to
it, I
know.
can sing it, I can fart it. It just comes out. Boom. I could see what a friend of mine in Italy is doing, what he's eating. you know.
Exactly.
It's amazing.
Instantly.
Instantly.
And I think
this
that's
small thing.
I think that's a good thing, but I also think it's a bad thing.
I think it's a
it
bad
could-
thing. It takes a lot
Like,
away.
because like when I'm feeling like shit, I'll be like this, and I'm like, it'll tell me I'm dying. Now I'm nervous.
Oh my God! Everything. Yeah.
Oh
no.
yeah, yeah. Especially Wikipedia, the health,
Oh my God!
I got cancer.
The matter, you
Yeah.
can't look at that.
Heart
No,
attack,
no,
stroke.
Yeah.
heart pain.
I think that's why all the
tiredness,
kids growing up
weakness.
have a lot of anxiety because they
Yeah.
could just see they
I
get
see all their
you-
issues
things that
online.
nobody else saw.
No.
Like Billy, I think Billy was the last one,
Yeah.
and
Final.
then everyone after him
Everyone
Right.
is
after
just
me.
anxious and everything.
Yep.
Yeah. You
I
know,
feel like everyone his age is like,
it's amazing.
Well, yeah, because we got to live everything they used to live
Right.
until a point.
right.
Like we got cell phones. They didn't have cell phones.
No,
you
no.
know?
That's what I'm saying. How could we live? That's another thing we did. We lived without. If we were out, you'd have to look for a phone.
Yeah.
Or call. Or
Or pay
I would,
phone.
I would be in my house, and my sister would be. She'd have the cord going down the,
The stairs.
wall, down the stairs,
Man, those
and
things were long.
who keeps picking it up? Click, 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 click.
Get off
I'm
the
on the
line.
phone. I'm on the phone, waiting for a phone call before call waiting.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is the way we lived.
I know.
You know, if you went out, you had to call your mother at 10 o'clock, tell you where you were.
Yeah.
You had to do
Come
that.
back before the light shut
They
off.
said the lights post was like you
Yeah.
gotta
You
get
know,
home.
the big thing was the beeper or the Chapman lock on your car.
Yeah,
It's like,
the beeper.
you know,
Yeah.
so, okay, you know, you all cool
Shit.
walking in the club. You have your little thing,
Your
click,
beeper,
click,
yeah.
click, click, click. You know,
but
you know.
today, man, like
well, everything had a trend,
yeah.
right?
Remember, everybody's car would go off. You'd hear it outside.
I mean,
Like,
before we got the equipment, that's where we used our phones, and it worked great.
Yeah.
And
We
it's
record
you-
right off our phones.
I mean, how many things you got? It's pretty much your personal TV. You got
Everything.
flashlight. You can record.
You're
text,
right, it's got everything.
Got your own computer in there.
It's-
Who knows what's gonna? I feel like eventually it's gonna be like this. Look,
You can
It's
order
gonna be in your
food on
hand.
it. You can call your friends on it. You can look up something you never heard of before. You can learn on it. It's crazy.
You know, and you can listen to things. You know, I think YouTube is amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
You know,
YouTube's
you could
crazy.
find something you want to watch something.
It's got
The other
everything.
day,
on
I was
there.
thinking about Jackie Gleason. There was a character that he would do on a Jackie Gleason show, and I forget his name. Fontaine, I think his name. He was a drunk, and he would talk like this, whatever. And I just said, "Let me pull it up." Bam! Within a second, I'm watching
It's
it.
there.
Like it's beautiful.
like it was back in the day.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing, you know, what this thing does. And then they show you 1955, this computer, and they have like the
Right.
thing the size of this wall.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's
and it
you
had
know,
like
it doesn't even have like a tenth of what's on here.
Nothing.
Not even.
You know,
that's like probably like a
That's how you know it's technology is just
it's,
it increases,
it's flying.
it evolves every year.
I love the GPS though,
GPS is the best thing
which
that
was,
ever
from
happened.
what I understand, around 25 years ago. It was used in the war. They were
That-
using it, you know,
yeah.
in Desert Storm.
Wow.
Yeah, they had that then, you know, until it finally.
Did you know the woman who invented Wi-Fi was pretty much she didn't get famous until after she died because I think she was too good looking. They were just like ignoring her.
Really?
Yeah, they were like, you're a pretty girl. And she like invented the Wi-Fi, and they were like, they found her notes and everything. Like, oh my god, this girl cracked the code for
She
Wi-Fi.
knew-
And I think Joe Rogan actually explained that.
Wow.
And
That's so
she got
cool.
credit for it, of course, but they were
Yeah.
just like, she never while
too
she was
late
alive.
now.
While she was alive, they were just ignoring her
Oh, she died before it
Right.
set off.
because she was a really good looking girl.
Right.
So they were like, go do something else.
You always think about like, you know, anything they could do to make money, you know, whether it's, you know, a format of like with records and they had the
Right.
cassette and they had the CD. Now you don't even
Streaming.
have physically anything anymore.
Yeah.
Nah.
You gotta get like, what do you use anything for what do you use YouTube for music mostly?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just YouTube.
I
You know,
usually
just, you know, just put
We have
YouTube.
so many different music things now.
'Cause
You have
now there's
Pandora,
Spotify, you know, yeah.
Spotify,
SoundCloud.
Pandora, iTunes, everything.
Yeah, it's sick. I mean, if you just want to hear a song in your head, you just, you know, YouTube it and it comes right out. you
Right.
know,
Exactly.
You know, but I have Sirius. Sirius I usually use because I
Sirius,
listen to
yeah.
a lot of talk radio.
Sirius is good for that too. It's
Yeah.
got Stern and like your
It's got
guys,
Howard, yeah, got my guys. my
my
Yeah,
guys,
your pals.
your pals on there. My dad rocks Elvis. I'm
Right.
actually I'm going to see them June 24th. I'm gonna fly down.
Who is this? Oh, mom and daddy. Okay,
Yeah.
Mom and
cool.
Dad.
So I'm gonna go down 24th. I'm gonna go with Michelle,
Okay,
my belle.
because she's her parents are there.
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
her parents are there too. So we're gonna go hang out and just chillax. Maybe he'll whip me around in the cart.
Wow.
And I hope we can all be down there one day soon.
Yeah, well, I have to go see. I have to
Yeah, I'm
Definitely.
gonna try to make it probably hopefully next month.
Yeah, Billy's gonna go probably next month.
You
I
gonna
just
go?
want to go before it gets too hot.
It's gonna get
It's gonna
hot.
get hot.
I heard it gets blasting.
Yeah,
You know, I
it's-
have a couple of friends that have places, and they 10 o'clock. the Floridians disappear. It's like
Right.
little roaches, like they scatter.
Yeah, and then all the
And then the
pedestrians.
all the like come out,
Right.
and then they don't reappear till like 6.
Yeah.
When it gets a little cooler, and then they do their thing because it's just it's like having a torch on you. And
No, it
the
is.
humidity,
The
like you see
humidity is
how it was
disgusting,
yesterday.
this
Slimy,
morning
hot,
sucked,
you
too.
can't breathe. That's
It's the worst.
Yeah,
Like
well.
you don't. No one wants that. But the AC, thank God for that.
Thank God for
that
air
was a good
condition.
invention too.
Oh God, air condition is amazing, But like I said, with the technology, the way everything has changed, it's so much. Everything's like, it's amazing. It really is. Even with the cars, like I said, back then, if you had a car that had 70,000 miles, you were looking to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Now,
now you
you
can
got
go
170,000.
Like especially
that's
like
nothing.
the Toyotas, they can go like 300,000, no problem.
And we're turning them on with buttons now.
Yeah.
Knobs to turn the
Yeah, for the
drive.
gears.
That,
neutral.
believe it or not, changed everything. I believe it was like 1969. It was, I think, Toyota was one
Right.
of the first dealerships that came to Bay Ridge. And
Right.
my uncle, I'll never forget, he lived in Coram, Long Island, and he used to commute back and forth to Brooklyn. So
Yeah.
back then, everybody was driving tanks. This was before the gas shortage.
I know.
So he bought this little car. Like, nobody was driving little cars. It was like a
No.
European thing.
Yeah.
But he was getting so much gas. He had that car until like I think the body just like disintegrated. It was a 69 Toyota Corolla.
Yeah.
One of the
Toyota
first
Corolla
ones.
is the best.
And
It lasts
it lasted.
forever.
It really lasted. I think a good 20 years.
See?
And he
That's
would go
nuts.
back and forth, back and forth. Here's people. They're driving.
They would go through. You
Yeah,
can go through
Eldorado,
storms,
like
though. Yeah.
500 cubic inch, like slow. No, nothing but a big car.
I mean,
there's
they
no
made
ride
the
like that.
greatest looking machine, but they made something that lasts.
But
the
he-
longest.
But by the time his tank ran out, I'm still driving on the same,
Yeah.
gas tank.
Yeah.
So you got a lot of miles. But I mean, today you can get really good miles on a 4-cylinder.
cars.
They're
Oh,
fast.
yeah.
I think my highest miles per gallon was like 43. I was like, that's pretty good. But it's rare. Like it's usually around 30 something.
Yeah, I mean, it's a $10,
Right.
But even with the speed, you get a 4, especially now with these cars, the electric cars.
Yeah, they're fast.
I just posted something the other day. They had, I think it was a Porsche. It's not cheap. It was $200,000.
Right. Yeah.
But it's their first electric car because they're competing with
Tesla.
Yes, which is amazing for the
yeah.
price.
Right.
I don't.
And they're
I don't
making
think.
a cheaper one now. Too.
I don't think you could lease them either. I think.
No.
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 With
you
the
can't.
electric cars?
Yeah.
You can't.
Tesla,
Well,
I
you
think
can't. The
just have to
Tesla
buy
you
them.
have to buy.
Yeah.
But they're making a cheaper one for about 25,000. So hopefully
Yeah.
it'll be something cool.
But let me tell you something. You don't even hear them. And
No.
but this one, you have to check out the new Porsche, whatever they call it. I don't know. It is amazing. 0 to 60. It's fast.
I know.
And they have all these things. They have this like button because you don't really hear anything when you're
No.
driving.
It's like
They have this futuristic button that you hit, and it makes it sound like
right. But it's not.
Yeah,
It's like
that's
a,
weird.
it's
It's
like a
just-
fake
it's a- it's
sound.
a-
Wouldn't even
Fake.
mind it, though. How cool would it be? I'm in a spaceship.
But if you see the way it's designed, everything is like wind. It's the rims themselves have these grooves in them. Because it's all about cutting wind.
Right.
There's no
Aerodynamic.
That's
right.
nuts.
There's no pull because that's when you're pushing.
Well, it's like there's nothing. Nothing needs to heat up. Nothing needs to.
Yeah.
No.
They just. It's
No.
like an electric. It's like a toy car.
Yeah.
It's
when,
like
you put
exactly.
when you put a toy car, it just goes.
And
doesn't need to go
that's
anything.
gonna be the future.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
And
we can't be using
I
these fossil
feel
things anymore.
that this is what I'm thinking. How we have the GPS when you go underneath, you don't have to pay.
Right.
They're gonna.
Easy Pass?
I think, Easy Pass. But on the highway, you're going through and they charge it. You don't have to stop.
Right. You don't have to stop. Yeah.
I believe they're gonna have sensors over the cars in the future where you don't even have to pull in. Like in other words,
What do you
as
mean?
you drive, they'll be able to pick up power.
Oh,
As you're driving.
definitely.
Think about it.
Explain
Like it'll
this
be
to
able.
me.
It'll
I'm
be able.
slow.
He'll be able to charge the car
As you drive.
as you drive.
Right. They'll have ports.
That's awesome.
Like,
so
even
like
if it's like
stations.
even if it's
So
like you
like-
gotta go 10
something I
miles an
just thought
hour.
I
about.
understand.
Think about it. No, really about it.
No, I
If
understand
they have
what you're
these
saying.
like pods, like on the highway, just
Right.
say I'm on the turnpike,
Yeah.
and every time I go through a couple of these things, I gain a little bit more power. And by the time I get off the parkway,
You charged.
I'm charged. But Why would they do that? Because they're going to not make any money. They have to charge you for it.
Yeah, what if they make it like an Easy Pass every time you
Well,
go through?
it'll be like an Easy
$1.50,
Pass.
$1.50,
Yeah, like a
something
scan.
that, yeah.
So it'll scan,
Even if-
it'll scan to your card. There's not going to be any more cash anymore.
I mean, I think you need to. I think we can't put that part in because that might be might make some money off of that.
Oh, but think about
I'm
it.
just joking. No, you're true.
But I just thought about that in my head right now. Like,
But you know how I think about it? You know how they have the, like you don't have to plug in your phone to charge it?
Yeah, you
know
just
what I'm
put
saying?
it on-
put it on
you put it
top
on the
and
thing
it's
like
charged
that.
by
Well,
itself.
what I'm
You
saying,
can do
why
it for
why
cars.
can't they have like some sort of a pod? I mean, you're able to get light from
Oh yeah,
from the
sun.
The sun.
Right.
It'll be similar. You'll get power because all you need is power. It's solar power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as we have
it's-
sun, we have power.
As long as we have sun, we have power.
Speaking of power, I need to make sure. Let's wrap this baby up.
Okay,
I'm sorry,
let's
the power
fire
on my
it, fire
phone.
it out.
It's all good.
Don't want the cameras to turn off.
City on the Hill, Snowfall, and Yellowstone.
What was that?
Those are the latest shows that I'm watching.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yellowstone. Yeah, you told me Yellowstone.
Yellowstone's really good.
Yeah.
City on the Hill, Showtime, awesome, and Queen of the South.
Queen of the
Which
South.
is-
Yeah, I want
is,
to watch that. It's gonna
you
watch.
gotta
It's gonna be
check
next
that
because
out.
I'm already into that Colombian type thing,
Oh,
like
man.
cartel.
No.
You already watched it.
Everybody- yeah.
Narcos.
Narcos too.
No, this is good. This is big time.
I appreciate you coming, Rick.
Yeah,
thanks for
This is a blast.
Boys, love you, man.
Thank you,
love you.
brother.
It's all good. It's all good, man.
Thank you guys for
Thank
watching,
you guys.
listening to this podcast, episode
Mhm.
12 here at What Guys Think. And
Guys
take care, everybody. Everybody have a good weekend and enjoy the sun.
Stay cool.
Stay cool, everyone.
Yeah, man.
Perfect.